Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's gonna join us. Alrighty, let's get in here and make sure we are live and get us shared out to the group so everyone can find us. There we are in groups, and there's the VIP. And our team. Okay, we are officially live and shared. How is everyone today? We're melting here, and I apologize, but this is what you're getting because this is full on melting season. It's been humidity, I think, is 100%. Yeah. It's been brutal. And then we had a few storms blow through here. So Tucker's had his little meltdowns. It's been fun. All right. If you are here, please go ahead and say hello so I know who's visiting. And I'm going to go ahead and go through our quick housekeeping really quick, which is basically we do have our let's see, we want to go here. No. There we are. Paper Pumpkin. We are now into, believe it or not, August subscription period. We are now into, you have until August 10th to get in on the farmhouse florals, which sounds like it's going to be really, really cute. Especially if you like that farmhouse design, which I personally do. It's going to create 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs. You're going to send whimsical cards featuring flowers nestled in delightful, unexpected places. You'll receive pre-cut paper pieces in linen thread. You'll have sentiment stamps for the outside and inside of the cards. And the coordinating colors will be Calypso Coral, Darling Duckling, Gray Granite, Lost Lagoon, Pecan Pie, and Secret Sea. And your classic ink spot will be Secret Sea. So you'll get an in color as your ink spot. So again, they do coordinate with the extra add-on dies called Circle of Season. So you can grab those pretty simply just by going in and adding them to an order. And again, it is only for subscribers. You have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to take advantage of those add-on dies. Then, of course, there's those online exclusives. We had some new ones drop in July, on July 1st. Lots of new beautiful stamp sets. We're now getting into the holiday season. We have Halloween, we have fall, and we have Christmas all covered in the last online exclusive drop. And at the end of this month, the demonstrators will get to preview the brand new catalog coming up. Oh, hey, Sherry. Hey, Kay. So glad you ladies could join. Happy to see you here. So we do get to preview the new catalog in the next couple of weeks. And then next month will be pre-order. And then before you know it, we'll be into September and you'll be able to order from that as well. This week, the 16th, is the start of the album retreat. That is a virtual retreat held by Stampin' Up directly. It is a 2-day retreat from 2 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So you have lots of time to get in and craft, but you're going to make a 2-page spread for 12 months. You're going to have 24 pages when you're all done. So highly recommend this retreat, especially if you are an avid scrapbooker. This one is definitely for you. So if you have any questions, we need help getting in on that, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. All right. Now we can get into tonight's fun. We are featuring the, here they are, Coneflower Celebrations Bundle. So this is a stamp and die bundle. Makes these beautiful cone flowers. Has some really great sentiments. Happy belated birthday birthday. You made my day. Thank you. Celebrating you. I'm sorry I missed your special day. Let's extend the celebration. It's your day. I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. And of course, this really cute butterfly. And then we have these awesome dies. We have this little border die. You have the stem, some leaves, the coneflower detail, and then there's a folded coneflower. You could do a fun shaped card with this one. Thank you for sharing, Cherry. I appreciate that. The butterfly, the leaves, and then, of course, the center of that coneflower if you wanted to do a detailed die with that. So, show you the cards we're making this evening. They are fun. You made my day. And we just colored it in with our lens. So there's You Made My Day. And then we have this here, Happy Belated Birthday, and it opens up. So it just kind of gives you that little extra texture to this card. And that stands like so. And then, of course, this one we didn't even use that, but I did use a new embossing folder, which is part of the online exclusives that dropped back on July 1st. This is the Sunflower 3D embossing folder, and I used the two-tone paper, a little bit of a sand block, and just used one of the sentiments. I love that I've known you for so many birthdays, and we did a fussy cut little butterfly and added that. So again, super simple cards, but they are so cute. And like I said, really loving this particular bundle. All right, so for our first card, I have a Darling Duckling card base, and I apologize if the fan is making too much noise, but I have the fan in front of the air conditioner trying to pump some of that cooler air this way because, as I said, it's stifling. And I'm in the upstairs on the second floor of our house, so it just like heats up like an oven. Oh, thank you, Kay. I'm glad you like them. So anyways, we have Darling Duckling here. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to fold on that score line and burnish it out. Next, I have a piece of the Oka Designer Series paper. This is the Calypso Coral piece, and it's cut 4 inches by 3 inches, and I'm just going to go ahead and add my adhesive. And we're just going to set that on the center of our card. So there's our designer paper. I have another couple scrap pieces of basic white. This is for our stamping and die cutting. And then for my sentiment, I have a 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches for You Made My Day. So we're going to set that aside for a minute. And I'm going to bring in a piercing mat because it's always nice to have cushioned with photopolymer stamps. I have my extras here. And what did I do? Not bring that stamp over? Okay, hang on just a minute. Looks like I did forget to bring the stamp over. Oh, good gravy. Okay, so we have this large Coneflower. And I'm going to use my early espresso. I'm going to ink that up. All right. And just gonna stamp it down like so. Next, I am going to stamp my stem. I'm using Old Olive. I stuck to 2 ink pads and just a few ink Stampin' blends for these cards because I wanted to keep things, again, very simple. So you don't feel like you have to own the entire collection of everything. So we're just using 2 ink pads. We're using Early Espresso and Old Olive for all 3 cards. And just, like I said, a handful of our Stampin' blends. Okay, so I have these. I do need a leaf. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that as well. We're using this one here. And there's our leaf. Oh, hey, sis. No worries. We're really just getting started. Okay. All right. So for this, I am going to grab my supplies here. So I have here light and dark Calypso Coral. I have the light and dark Darling Duckling, and I'm really only using the light on this particular card. I also have the deep 200, and I have the light and dark Old Olive, and I'm only using the light on this card. Okay, so we'll start with our Coneflower, and I am going to take the light Darling Duckling, and I'm just going to add some of that up here in the little blossom center here, what you'd call that, but the flower center. And then I'm using the deep to color in the rest of it. And again, not getting too fancy with my coloring, keeping it, again, just really simple coloring with these markers. I mean, if you have patience, you could really get into the shading and highlighting, but I just have a little bit of the yellow in the corner there. And then we have the brown deep. All right. So now for our petals, I've got the dark Calypso Coral. And typically you would expect to see, some shading and shadowing up here by this blossom. So we'll go there. And then some shading where the petals kind of overlap. Like so. Now we can bring in our light. And then color it in. Just keep adding color. Blend a little where the two colors kind of come together. And we just continue. And again, where those colors converge together, you want to just kind of blend them out a little bit. And bring back that dark. Just add a little more depth in there. Maybe. And then blend it out. There we are. Then for our stem and our leaf, using the light old olive. Like so. All right. So now we can go ahead. And I did bring the Big Boss over because this die is so large. There we go. And there it is. Oh, hey, Nita. So glad you could join us. Okay, get this all lined up. There's that side. Hey, Arlene, so glad you could join. Okay. There we are. Got that on. And now we need our stem. Okay. And then, of course, our leaf. And I am going to get this tacked down and I'll run these right through the Big Boss. I think I can get them all on at the same time, so it's just one quick run. There we go. That way. This. There we are. This is being dyed in Coneflower. Set this aside. And there's our flower. Here's our stem. And our leaf. All right, and you'll notice there's a little extra piece there on our coneflowers. We're going to go ahead and take our snips and we're just going to trim that off like so. So now all we have left is our flower. All right. So next, I'm going to, what did I do with it now? Here it is. Add little bits to our leaf. And then our flower, of course, gets dimension. And then this is here, like so. Then I have some linen thread. We're going to take our snips, cut that off, I've doubled it over, just because I like the look. The double bow. Tuck Parker's finally settled down. He's over here on the love seat. Looks like he's worked out finally. The storms had him all in a tither. The little guy. Okay, now we're just gonna get that all bust out a little bit. There we go. And then we can trim our tails. Like so. Then we need a glue dot. And that goes right under there. I'm going to bring back our little piece here. And we want You Made My Day. Oh boy. You Made My Day. And we want our early espresso ink. Let's bring back our cushion here. So we're just inking that up. You Made My Day. Like so. Close up that ink pad. Couple more dimensionals. Okay. And that's just going to set right there like so. And then we want some rhinestones because we know rhinestones make everything better. Take your pick tool. Put a couple up there. And one right down in here. And that completes card number 1. Again, quick and simple, because that's the way we like things around here. Okay, next up, this fun card. You could actually put a dimensional, which I think I'm going to do that so it actually stays sort of shut. I think I'm going to double it. I'm going to put it up here. So I don't want it shut all the way because I want you to be able to see. That flower in there. There. So you still see the dimension of the flower in there. Kind of cool. All right. So let's get started on this one here. So for this one, I have a Timid Tiger card base. This one measures 11 by 5.5, scored at, or 4.25, excuse me, 11 by 4.25, scored at 5.5. You can't speak today. And we need our foam folder, like so. Then I have a piece of Darling Duckling. This measures 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then I have a piece of basic white that is 5 by 3 3/4. So it's 1/8 difference. And then I have another piece of Designer Series paper. This is from the In Color pack. This is the Timid Tiger shade, and it's the In Color 2025-2027 In Color pack of designer paper. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our basic white piece and bring back my little cushion here, and we're going to stamp Happy Belated Birthday on the bottom right. So again, using that Early Espresso. And Happy Belated Birthday. We're going to go to the bottom right, and we're going to stamp that Happy Belated Birthday. Like so. Now, set this aside for a minute. We're going to take our designer paper and add some adhesive. And this is going to go to the left here. Try to get 3 even borders. And that designer paper, I think I told you, was 1.5 inches by, let's see, 1.5 inches by 4.5. All right, and that's now going to get adhesive on the back of our basic white panel here. And we're going to attach that to our Darling Duckling panel. So now we can, and like I said, this is just a very tiny 1/8 inch border all the way around. Get that on. And then this attaches to our card base. There is our card. Okay, now I went ahead and I cut out my coneflower already, and I did cut it as intended. So you have this entire little folded piece. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and bring back our cushion here. And I've got my coneflower, and I'm going to ink it up in Early Espresso again. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And I'm going to line it up. I can't see with it that far away from me, so I'm going to bring it my way a little bit more here. See if I can't see better. And I got the breeze blowing over here. It's not making it easier. Let's see if this blocks some of the. Nope. Not too bad. Considering I have the fan blowing directly on me over here. I'm using the fan to circulate the air conditioning cooling because it is brutal up here, even with the air going. Okay, so now we inked it up again, and we're just going to, again, line everything. Maybe if I do it upside down, you'll see it better. Yeah, a little bit. No, maybe not. Oh, well. It's close enough. So you're looking for perfect cards. Go buy Hallmark, right? Not too bad, actually. So I tell everybody, if you're looking for perfection, go buy a Hallmark. I don't make perfection. I make cards. And they're handmade. All right, so now taking that light Darling Duckling again, just like I did before. Well, this one I went a little bit more over to the center and added that light yellow. And I'm using that deep again. And we're just going to add our color. Like so. Okay, now we have our dark Darling Duckling. And again, just like we did with the previous, we're just going ahead and adding some color, coming away where you'd expect to see more shadows. And then again, right where the petals overlap, you'd have shadowed in darker shades. And I did like to add a little there. And now we're just going to go ahead and color it in. I am really liking the Darling Duckling color. It's a fun color to play with. I did discover when I was playing though with these markers, I apparently ordered 2 sets of Darling Ducklings and I never got Timid Tiger. So now I got to add to my next order the Timid Tiger markers. I hate when that happens. I think I have something and come to find out, I don't. All right. Still have the light in my hand, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our inside. So, the center a little more dark brown. So, well, thank you, Kay. I think it gives it a little more natural look to it, I suppose. Having that little bit of yellow in there, because if you go out in nature and you look at a real coneflower, it does have different shades of browns and yellows in them. Matter of fact, I love coneflowers. I had planted when we first moved here, and I put my flower beds in. I mean, they don't grow anymore because they must have had a lifespan that didn't. They weren't supposed to be perennial, but I think they were like more of a biennial or something got to it and they didn't survive. That could be too, because I live in a weird zone. But I planted purple coneflowers and they were so pretty. And they came back a few years, and then after they just stopped coming up. And I loved them. Also known as echinacea. Okay, just gonna put that in there. And finish filling in our petals. And that finishes that. And I'm going to go ahead and put those 2 dimensionals up here. And then we'll finish stamping and die cutting the rest of our flower. So there's that piece. Now we need our other scrap. And we need another stem. And there's the other leaf. Oops. Okay, so now we need our old olive again. And our leaf. Okay. chunks. And this. Okay. Let's color them in first. Getting ahead of myself. Again, just using the light Old Olive. Fill those in quickly. All right. And this there. All right, I'm going to run this through quick. The Arcis, one of my favorite flowers for summer blooms. It's very sad when they stopped coming up. Okay, so put those back on the sheet there, like so. Here. All right, now let's see. This. Put leaf on there. Let's see. We want our blue dots. And then a couple dimensionals. And that completes card number 2. All right. Moving right along, we are now into card number 3, which has our sweet little butterfly. And for this card, I have a Timid Tiger card base. And this measures 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Like so. And then I have a piece of the two-toned paper. This is, I want to say it's peach pie. And it's the two-tone. So you have the darker and then you have the lighter tone. And it does pair well with the Timid Tiger. But first we're going to run this through the Big Boss using the brand new Sunflower 3D embossing folder. So we're going to use this. We need to go through the Big Boss. And I kind of want to make sure I get this here flower. So I'm going to kind of put this off to the left and towards the bottom. And that's going to go through the Big Boss like so. I'm going to switch over to my specialty plate. There we go. Just like so. So there's that. Okay. Over there, we need our little sanding block. This is an old item that I've had since I first joined Stampin' Up. So this is a retired item, of course, but you can find sanding blocks at any of your local stores, like your Lowe's. I love this embossing folder too. Okay, it is absolutely beautiful. And then just take your little sanding, some coarse sandpaper, a nail file will work. And you're just going to kind of hit these high points and just reveal some of that white core. And again, you're just hitting the high points. You don't need to go too crazy. It's just giving it a little bit of a rustic look. Looks pretty good. All right, I like it. I think we're good. So now I'm going to go ahead, add my adhesive. Oh. There's our piece. All right. Then I have a scrap for my butterfly and a scrap for my sentiment. And this time my sentiment says, I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. Grab that. And still using early espresso. And I'm kind of going more towards the right versus center. It went up a little bit higher, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. It works. Okay, close this up for just a moment. And we're going to bring back our linen thread. And we're going to wrap it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure we have our tweezers. Because now we're going to tie a bow. If my fingers will cooperate. There we go. Okay, so now here's the other end. There we go. Now I can trim the tail. Add dimensionals. And we're almost there. And add this to our card front, like so. And then we need our little butterfly. I'm using, again, the early espresso. Stamp that down like so. And back to our markers here. I got my dark or deep 200. For his body. And then I use the light Calypso Coral and the Light Darling Duckling. So let's we're just going to fill in these little segments here. And you could, like I said, you can get as fancy with your coloring as you'd like, but I'm really keeping it simple. I'm not getting into all the blending and the shading because it's really not a large image. So it would take a little more effort that I'm willing to put out there. All right, so there's our little butterfly. And I'm going to get our little die. We have our baby boss. Like this. Gotta have the baby boss. Alrighty. There's our cute little butterfly. And I'm just going to use a blue dot. Just going to skirt right there on the corner. And then bring back our pretty little rhinestones. Take your pick tool. And that finishes card number 3. Quick recap. We have card number 2 with our double layered petals. And then, of course, our first card You made my day. Oh, thank you, Kay. I'm so glad you like them. So there you have it. Another brand new set. Again, I believe this was one of the releases from the online exclusives, the previous release. Got a hair in my mouth. The Coneflower stamp set bundle. So you will find that in the online store. And if you check my blog later tonight, first thing tomorrow morning, there will be project sheets for all three of the cards with complete measurements and full just instructions that you'll be able to download if you'd like to recreate any of these cards. You'll be able to grab them and again, enjoy. I do want to remind everybody, my friend Cindy and I do have our card class. The Sunrise Sailing. Wow, try to say that one 3 times fast. Sunrise Sailing. That is closing on the 15th, so you do have a couple more days. If you are on my mailing list, you do have all of the information that you need, and you can register for that class. Everything, you'll get all of the cardstock pre-cut and delivered to you, as well as full color instructions. You're going to get the in color flat pearls and a half a pack of the 6x6 in color designer series paper. So you'll have plenty of extra paper for more projects. So yeah, if you're interested in that, that does close in 2 days. So anywho, that is all I have for tonight, guys. And again, I really, truly appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with me on this hot, sticky Sunday. And I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. And God willing, I will see you next week. Bye for now.